kid's bike was stolen. Then bikers surprised him with a brand new one. In the quiet, sun-drenched streets of a small town, 9-year-old Ben lived a life filled with simple joys, but nothing brought him more happiness than his bicycle. It wasn't just any bike, it was a handmade masterpiece, crafted with love by his grandfather before he passed away. To Ben, that bicycle was more than metal and rubber. It was a tangible piece of his family history, a vessel for his childhood memories, and his most prized possession. One fateful afternoon, the world came crashing down. Ben had parked his beloved bike near a local pawn shop while running a quick errand for his mother. When he returned moments later, the spot was empty. His heart sank into his stomach. He searched the block, asked neighbors, and even checked behind dumpsters, hoping it was a cruel joke. It wasn't. The bike was gone. Devastated, Ben and his parents rushed to the local police station. They filed a report describing the unique handmade frame and the sentimental value attached to it. But the officers, overwhelmed with cases and lacking immediate leads, offered little more than sympathy. "We'll keep an eye out," they said gently, but the look in their eyes told the truth. Without surveillance footage or witnesses, the chances of recovery were slim. Ben went home that day in tears, feeling a profound sense of loss that no adult could fully explain to a child. However, in this town, news travels fast, especially when it involves injustice against the innocent. The story of Ben's stolen heirloom reached the ears of the Iron Saints, a local motorcycle club often misunderstood by the public. While their leather vests and roaring engines might intimidate some, the Iron Saints operate on a strict code of honor. Protect the weak, respect the community, and never let a bully win. To them, stealing from a 9-year-old boy wasn't just a crime, it was a personal insult to their neighborhood's integrity. The club didn't hesitate. Treating the theft as a violation of their own brotherhood, they immediately mobilized. Using their extensive network and digital tracking tools, they scanned local sales listings and monitored known fences. Within hours, they spotted a suspicious van linked to a group of known thieves pulling up to the very same pawn shop where Ben had left his bike. The confrontation was swift and intense. A dozen heavy motorcycles rumbled into the pawn shop's parking lot, silencing the street. The bikers, led by their president, marched inside. They didn't need violence. Their presence was command enough. They confronted the pawn shop owner, presenting evidence of the stolen goods. Faced with the united front of the Iron Saints and the threat of severe legal and communal repercussions, the owner crumbled. He admitted to buying the bike knowing its origins and handed it over. But there was a catch. In the chaos of the theft and the rough handling by the thieves, Ben's precious handmade bike had been severely damaged. The frame was bent, the paint scratched, and the spirit of the machine broken. Returning a wrecked bike to a crying child felt like a hollow victory to the Iron Saints. They knew that while the physical object was recovered, the magic was gone. That night, the clubhouse buzzed with a different kind of energy. The bikers pooled their resources, digging into their own pockets, not for beer or gas, but for parts. Mechanics who spent their days fixing Harleys now meticulously assembled high-grade BMX components. Welders smoothed out frames. Painters sprayed vibrant new colors. They weren't just fixing a bike. They were building a legacy. 2 days later, Ben was invited to the local park under the pretense of a community meeting. As he arrived, confused and still sad, the roar of engines filled the air. The Iron Saints rode in formation, parting ways to reveal a stunning sight. Standing in the center was a brand-new, custom-built competition BMX bike, gleaming in the sunlight. It was faster, stronger, and more beautiful than anything Ben had ever imagined. Painted on the side in bold letters was the name, the Avenger. The club president knelt down to Ben's level, handing him the keys. "We couldn't bring your old one back perfectly, son," he said, his voice rough but kind. "So we built you something new. Something that says no one messes with kids in our town. This is yours." Tears streamed down Ben's face again, but this time they were tears of pure joy. The bond formed that day was unbreakable. As Ben mounted the Avenger, the bikers formed a protective escort, riding alongside him as he pedaled down the street, a smile wider than the horizon stretching across his face. This story reminds us that kindness often comes in unexpected packages. Heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear leather and ride motorcycles. If you believe in the power of second chances and the strength of community, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us spread hope to millions around the globe. Don't forget to tell us in the comments where you are watching from. We love hearing from our global family.